Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 weekly reset video. My name is Story, and today is the 17th of March, which means only two things if you count the fact that the fourth horseman is returning back to Destiny. The world of Destiny is in Destiny 2 now, so you can go to Zavala and check out this quest. That's all I'm telling you. You can have it all as a secret. There's no spoilers here. Anyway, and the other thing is that we're running up until obviously the what's the date? The 24th, because that's how maths work around here. Okay, then, if you're new to the game, welcome. Pull up a pew and pour yourself a brew. There's a couple of things I should explain, really, if you're new to the game, and that is that dotted around the Destiny universe, there are plenty of vendors. Vendors are signified by these little icons here. And in the tower, there's loads of vendors. Look at that. You can go visit them. You can talk to them. You can love them. You can give them a kiss, even though they might slap you. And that's about it, really. But the main thing is that you can pick up bounties, challenges, and quests from them. If you complete these challenges, bounties, and quests, then you get loot. And loot in the form of powerful gear is always gratefully accepted and received. It makes you giggle with glee. Anyway, for example, we'll have a look at the spare parts weekly gunsmith challenge. That is to complete 8 of his bounties. That will get you powerful gear at tier 1. Gear comes in a couple of different tiers. They all escalate in power, I should say. Power level, which is signified on your Guardian. I've been hard at work, working from home, braving the coronavirus, so I don't really have much power at the moment. I haven't been able to play, which has made me very sad indeed. But anyway, there it is. That's your power level. And there you go. You do stuff for powerful gear. That's how it works. But anyway, what we'll have a look at is all the things to do on a weekly reset in Destiny 2. So hop on over to your destinations and we'll start with the Vanguard playlist. Here we have daily heroic story missions. You'll get XP and a bit of nostalgia from completing these, and that's about it. If you move on to Vanguard Strikes, the weekly is complete strikes using the same subclass element as the currently active element or burn. Relax, this does not require that you have a degree in particle physics. All this requires is that you complete 3 strikes with a subclass with the same elemental burn as the weekly Singe, which is Solar Singe. So just equip your Solar subclass and off you go, complete 3 strikes. That is the Singe right there. We have a daily modifier as well, consisting of Grounded and Brawler. That will change on every 24 hours on the daily reset. Then we've got the Ordeal. It is an ordeal indeed. It is pretty tricky. It's a bit grindy, but there are 2 weekly challenges involved in this particular Ordeal Nightfall Strike. It is complete the Nightfall activities. Higher difficulties grant the most efficient progress. That will get you some powerful gear at tier 1 once completed. And then the big one, complete a ordeal with a team score above 100,000 points. And that will get you some pinnacle gear. Pinnacle gear is the highest power level stuff that you can get. So that will always drop slightly above your power or at the same level as your power just to make you feel bad. Big Major feels bad. Then we've got the Nightfall playlist right here. What is the ordeal? Yes, I forgot to tell you that. The ordeal is Exodus Crash. Diddly-dee, that is what's going on. Exodus Crash is the Nightfall this week for the ordeal. Then in the vanilla Nightfall playlist, we've got Lake of Shadows, Inverted Spire, and Festering Core. Some of these strikes have specific loot. If you happen to grind the strike over and over and over and over and over again, then you may get that loot upon downing the boss or opening up the chest at the end of the strike. The Festering Core has nothing this particular. The Inverted Spire, that will get you the Trichromatica exotic shell if you grind it hard enough. And the Lake of Shadows harbors the Militia's Birthright kinetic grenade launcher if you try your grindiness enough. And that, ladies and gents, is the Vanguard playlist. I hope you love it. Then we've got Gambit right here, the world of Gambit. We've got a Reckoning cooperative arena, 1 to 4 player cooperative matchmaking, although I thoroughly recommend going into this activity with 4 players. Otherwise, it's a bit of a laborious grind. But anyway, there are 3 different flavors. Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 all have their own benefits. I won't spoil anything. If you don't know what they are, just get in there and do it. We've got a special modifier for the week for these, which is Void Singe, and the daily modifier is Grenadier. Now we've got Gambit Normal, Vanilla, and then Gambit Prime Deluxe. There we go. 2 types of Gambit, 4v4. It's a mixture of PvE and PvP. It's basically Neapolitan ice cream, but a little bit better. Anyway, complete 3 games of either or of these playlists and get yourself some powerful gear at tier 2. There's also private matches if you fancy roping in your entire family to play. Bang those knuckles. Anyway, what's in Crucible this week? Well, we've got 2 types of playlists in Crucible. There is the rotator matches, which consist this week of Team Scorched and Countdown. One of them happens to be a 6v6 with huge battle cannons that fire out balls of stuff, which will get you powerful gear at tier 1 if you complete four rotator matches. The same with this Countdown, which is a 4v4 activity, very similar to Arm the Bomb, MCOM business, and other games and all that kind of business. Very competitive. 4v4, complete 4 games of that powerful gear. That's, of course, stretched out over these 2 activities. That's the rotator playlists. The core playlists consist of Rumble, Control, Elimination, Survival, Freelance Survival, and Classic Mix. Those are your core matches, and if you complete 4 games spread out all between these matches, you get some powerful gear at tier 1 as well. And there's private matches for your family to start throwing controllers and mouse and keyboards at each other after you've rinsed them in the Crucible. There you go. That is the Crucible. What else have we got? Well, the Flashpoint this week happened to be on Mercury. What is a Flashpoint? Well, if you partake in spawning in over at the Lighthouse and then having a look at this lovely Brother Vance here, activities completed, 0%. If you make that, say, 100%, then you'll get some powerful gear at tier 1. How do I make that, say, 100%? Well, complete public events, which notoriously take a long time to spawn on Mercury, but they do spawn around here. There's also a single lost sector, Pariah's Refuge. If you farm this lost sector over and over again, you'll also increase that bar up to 100%. But bearing in mind, it's 5% for the downing of the boss in the lost sector and 5% for the looting of the chest. So there you go. That is your Flashpoint this week, and it is on Mercury. How about other activities? Well, in the days of old, we went to the Dreaming City and we visited the beautiful Petrovenge, and we got some bounties, and we did the Ascendant Challenge, which is still active. This week, it's in the spine of Keris, which is all the way over there, very beginning part of the story missions right there. And the Dreaming City Coast Week is at week 2 for those that are interested. How about other activities? Well, if we head on over to Mars, the Golden Oldie Escalation Protocol is still in effect. And this week, if you're interested in grinding that out, the Icolo Sniper is the weapon that is dropping from defeating the 7th wave of the boss. If you're lucky enough, because it's still a random number generator right there. But relax, have no fear. If you like grinding events, but you want a guaranteed reward, head on over to the Moon, one of my absolute favorites, and go to Sorrow's Harbor and go to the Altars of Sorrow. Very similar to Escalation Protocol, but updated, a little bit better, a bit more fresh, a bit more 2020, right? And if you defeat the 7th altar boss, then you are guaranteed a legendary. It's either going to be a sniper rifle, a rocket launcher, or a kinetic slug shotgun. That's what's on offer. What else is on the Moon? Well, there happens to be the Nightmare Hunt. There's 3 of them, and then 1 week over a course of weeks, there'll be 6, but usually there's just 3. Anyway, the weekly is complete any Nightmare Hunt activities. All difficulty tiers grant progress. 3 of those for powerful gear at tier 1. And then if you complete the Nightmare Hunt on Master difficulty, you'll get Pinnacle gear, which is the big bad stuff. Speaking of Pinnacle loot, the Garden of Salvation raid awards Pinnacle gear, as well as the Pit of Heresy. That gets you some Pinnacle gear as well. There is another quest. I think that's an old one. That's nothing new. Anyway, there's vendors to have a look at as well. Nightmare Slayers defeat nightmares in the Sorrow's Harbor. They're the big baddies that drop the red balls. That's my explanation anyway. You get powerful gear at tier 1 for that. And of course, memory quest completed from the own Eris Morn. That also gets you some powerful gear at tier 1. Have I forgotten anything? The Leviathan Order raid, if you're interested in that. The Leviathan raid, the order of that this week is... let me have a little look on my API. It is gauntlets, dogs, baths, and of course, callus. So if you're interested in that, that's the way that it goes right there and then. There is some tower vendors that we love to visit because these are definitely my favorite right now because it's quite explanatory to all the noobs. I mean, the newcomers out there. This is the gunsmith. He makes guns, sort of, a little bit, maybe, not at all. Anyway, his bounties will get you the weekly bounties, daily bounties, and then additional bounties. These are a good thing to explain when we were talking about vendors earlier. We've got the weekly bounties, will award you XP Glimmer and then some special stuff here. We've got upgrade modules and planetary resources. Upgrade modules will allow you to upgrade your gear. Other vendors may give you 200 bright dust per weekly bounty. Bright dust can be spent on cosmetics in the Eververse store if you don't particularly want to spend your real money. So those are good bounties to do if you want to farm stuff and get cosmetics. Then there are dailies. These particular dailies award you XP, mod components, and enhancement cores, both very essential for upgrading your gear. Then the additional bounties here don't award any bright dust, but they do give you XP. Most other bounties, bounty vendors will. The additional bounties get you bright dust, so you can farm and farm and farm and get bright dust and spend in the Eververse store. There's also some material exchanges that are important to mention. An armor mod and a weapon mod. This today is fusion rifle targeting and backup mag. If you've already got these, or if you're not interested and you want to pass, just wait till the daily reset tomorrow and they will change. There's some material exchanges for you to swap around some stuff for stuff if you're interested in that kind of thing. And there you go. There is Banshee 44, the tower's very own Gunsmith. We're going to wrap up the video now by having a wee look at the Eververse store, if I can remember the shortcut, because this is where the cosmetics are on offer. Now, the fourth horseman is returning. The quest is live, and there was always a ornament available to buy whenever a new exotic is released. It's new, it's old, it's very old, but it was a favorite, kind of. Anyway, carry the load. That's another emote that's available. If you open up the bag, waft some farts or whatever into the bag, close it up, and give it to your best friends in the Crucible. That is the emote for you. And then there is a Mercurial Affliction. That is another very spicy looking ornament for Outbreak Prime. Very Trials of Osiris themed as well. How was your Trials weekend, your experiences? Let us know in the comments. Then we've got Diadem of Deceit, or is it Diadem? Diadem. Of Deceit. That is an ornament for the Crown of Tempests. It looks very similar to the previous ornaments with a bit of a twist. And then there is the Lunatic's Legacy. That is a sparrow after my own heart. If ever I saw one. Does it take a shader? It does take a shader as well. Look at that. That's the kind of sparrow you want in your life, really. Then there's the Trials of Osiris Ghost Projection and the Order. This is an old ship, by the way, that's been around for a while, but it does take the one of the raid shaders very well. Midnight Smith. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that particularly fetching? Anyway, there is some stuff available for Bright Dust straight off the bat on the featured area. We've got some boons and materials that bump up bits and pieces in the game. Then we've got a Saint 14 projection, the Origami Quain emote. Jonathan Wass, you make an origami crane out of the a luminous bit of paper that's spinning Chernobyl. Then there is the Bloodline the Bloodline English ornament for the Bastion, and then there is the Tachyon 4 ship there. It looks like a wombat carrying a load of beer cans. And then there is seasonal stuff. This is the stuff that's available this season. Items may become unavailable for purchase after the season ends, so don't cry. Just pry open your wallet and depart with cash, or wait until it ever appears in Eververse. There's lots to look at here. Oh man, look at all the stuff. There's is that an Ace of Spades ornament? I want that in my life already, and I don't really want to spend any money. Look at this Splice of Life one as well for the Lord of Dingbat. There is the ornament for Fourth Horseman. It's very fetching. It's glory right there. There's loads of stuff. Look, there's even a new ornament for the Orstringer. Just needs a buff, doesn't it? Crying out loud. Anyway, there's loads of stuff for you to look at. There's an archive of seasons gone. Not everything will appear here. So if you've got your fancies on something, then I'd definitely pick it up before it disappears next season. Then there's the Bright Dust section. So if you've been saving up or grinding your Bright Dust, this is the stuff that you can buy this week. We've got Spike, Celebrate because you earned it, Throw the Ball on the Floor, and Pelvic Thrust. Great. Traitor Primus Shell. That's for you. And then there is a Perineal Velocity. Perineal, isn't that the bit between your... Never mind. Anyway, we'll move on. Saint's Invocation, a nice ship from previous season, and Colossus Helmet Protection, and an Abyssal Scream ornament for the tracked cannon, as well as Distracted. I like this one. Being on the phone, catching the coronavirus. There you go. Stay safe, guys. We joke about this kind of thing because it's goddamn scary, isn't it, really? We have to have a bit of a meme every now and again. But please stay safe. Stay social distancing, play your games, wash your hands, don't breathe anything bad, be safe and listen to your mom and dad, basically. And of course, there is more boons and things and shaders and transmat effects. There you go. That is all the stuff in the Eververse store this week, and that is the weekly reset video of 17th of March up until 24th. I've been Story Machine. Thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, smoke me a kipper. I'll be back for breakfast.